Welcome to Mezinanya. This is the African hub of entertainment and edutainment. Welcome, Black people teaching everybody in the world. First, Black people, because charity begins at home. And that is Saudi Soul singing, Wake Up. It's time to wake up, Africa. This is our time to rise. It's time to wake up, Black people. Wonderful. And that's Saudi Soul singing, Wake Up. We're so happy. I hope you've woken up, whichever part of the world you're in. And today we're going to introduce the Mezinanya Blackboard. As we told you, we're edutainers and entertainers. So sometimes we'll be entertaining and sometimes we'll be educating. In Africa, our culture, in the evening, it was a time to teach people, and the people would sit around the fire and learn new things, and they would share the experiences. Teaching was about what you've gone through, and that's what we're gonna do as Black people. Amandla, Mandela. Yes, we love the Black people. We are Black people, and we love everyone. Yes, and we keep everyone in love. It's just that you gotta feel love from Black people, you know, and that's what we call Ubuntu. And for those of you who know what is happening in the spirit, it is the time for Black people to rise. Yes, this is a time, and it has come. And why should Black people rise? We'll talk about this when we have time. It is about global social injustice. Yes, there was an injustice that was perpetrated to Black people over thousands of years. Black people have been hated, equivalent to the hatred of Jews, that it was also thousands of years. I was just reading today how Egyptian women, Black African women, they are Africans, they refused to get out of the house because the sun would make them darker, and that would mean lower caste. And when you go to India, the dark-skinned Indians are the lowest caste. And when you go to America, the dark-skinned humans are the lowest caste. And when you come to Africa, the dark-skinned people are also put down in some areas, but not so much. Yes, it's not as much as the other parts of the world. Yeah, but people, even remember Lupita said, she used to struggle because most of the girls in the classroom were light-skinned and she was dark-skinned. You see? So it's a thing that has gone on for thousands of years. And if you're connected to Black people, even when you're brown, you see, yes, the closer you are to darkness, so-called darkness, the more you are, degraded, and it's wrong, Yes, we are all equal, and so people should love. We should love one another, respect one another, and enjoy diversity. Yes, enjoy seeing a different color other than yours. Yes, yeah, there's a lot of, we saw a lot of things. I just saw two Black women holding the breast of another white woman. That's good. Yes, they're seeing a different color of a breast. Yes, that's wonderful. Black people. And that's what we are preaching. We're preaching oneness in diversity. Yes. And today, this section will be about learning different African languages. Yes, different words to help us connect with one another and see our unity. So today we have picked the word injustice. So injustice, we're going to start with the first language, and that's Swahili. Injustice means udhalimu. So we're going to write I'm the teacher now. I'm going to write injustice. Today's of word, our new word for the day. And we're going to learn it in the African languages available on Google Translate. So we thank Google Translate for that. Yes, we trust them and we love them. Yes, we love Google Translate forever. Keep it up. Put more languages from Africa. Many of them are missing and we need them. So injustice, we have found out, is, let's come here now, it's technology. Injustice means udhalimu in Swahili. Okay, udhalimu. Now let's go to another language. Swahili is the most common language and we encourage you to learn it. We are also available to teach you Swahili for those who want to know Swahili. Yes, so you're very welcome. Now let's go to Zulu, another African language. Unkambi na bulungisa, that is ukungabi na bulungisa. That's in Zulu. Zulu. Then we got another one coming up. Injustice. Let's go to another African language. Hausa is another African language. Rashin Adalchi. These are the Hausa, and their language is very close to Arabic, just like Swahili. So that's why you're seeing, for those of you who know languages, you are seeing a similarity. Yes, and then the fourth one is, the fourth language of Black Africa is Amharic. And injustice is called Gifi. Amharic. Injustice is called Gifi. And then we go to another African language. Of course, Arabic is, there are Arabs in Africa. Yes. Zalam. That's what it's rhyming with udhalimu. Yes, Zalam. That's in Arabic. There are Arabs who live in Egypt, in Sudan, and so we also honor them. Yes, we are one. And we also have Afrikaans, but I wouldn't want to put it because we are for Black people. Yes, and no offense, we don't hate them. Yeah, would I put Arabic? I wouldn't put it. Let's put indigenous Black color. Yes, let's change that. Yeah, yes, we're specific, but it doesn't mean we hate. Yes, we're just learning Black tongues. Yes, the Black tongues that are in the world. So we'll have to remove Arabic, even though there are Arab Africans and there are white Africans. Yes, they are there. So that's no problem. And we go to Ezigi Ezi. Yes, this is in Igbo, Nigeria. Ipe ne Ezigi Ezi. There you are. Ipe na Ezigi Ezi. If you're one of these tribes and you feel like, I'm not saying it clearly, please write and give your comments. We are more willing to learn. I'm just using Google Translate, which I like. Yes, it gives me an understanding. And I confirm these words reading different books from different countries. And then Kinyarwanda, Akarengani, Akarengani. and that is Kinyarwanda. Now someone will be like, wow, what's the importance of knowing this? It is to encourage Africa, Black people to set up language research centers to help in unifying Africa and the world. Yes, because most of the sad things about African languages, they are not developed. Yes, we are even lucky that an injustice has a meaning. And most of the times, it's not that Africa they can't do that. It's that most words only exist because of your culture. Yeah, if your culture has injustice, you will have a word to explain injustice, you know. That's why the most African tongues don't have words like for computer, yes, computer science, you know, technology, yes, they don't have them because that's not their culture, you know. Yes, the culture of technology is not African culture. So the artificial intelligence is not, I mean, what is that? In Black Africa, it'll be like, what are you saying? Yes. And then you tell them that, no, I'm also going to use machine learning. Yes. And then we're going to do cryptic. Yeah. They're like, what is that? So it's sadly the, what you call, I call it the technological divide. Yeah, this is what Oxfam was talking about, that the inequality in the world is so big. Yes, it's so big, and it's also evident in education and knowledge. Yes. So because we as African people don't have the words for these things, um, it ends up that the rural Africa, yes, is not even a part of the world, of the global community. Yes, so there is a lot of work in Africa concerning educating our people and creating new words. So my suggestion to Africa, I've already suggested this and I'm suggesting it again, is that we need language centers. Yeah, we need to build language centers that will build the language centers that will lift up the and develop African tongues. Yes. Now, in each research center, they are going to collect every word in the language and then create new words for new things in the world. Yes. English has roughly 300,000 words. Yeah. How many words does your language have in Africa? You see? So that's what you need to do. We need to create new words. Yeah. And this is going to happen when the linguistics of the world, the linguists of the world will sit together and fix the world's languages and check the languages that are dying. Yes, okay. So that's how we gotta save this world. Okay, my computer is jamming on me, so I won't go farther. I was just wondering. I couldn't say it in African language. You heard me speaking in Swahili in the other video. Yes, that is my other language that I speak. Yes, it's also mother tongue, being an African, you know, it is my mother tongue also. So we have another one, another African tongue, Nyanja. Nyanja. This is, Nyanja is from Malawi. Yes, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's Nyanja, Nyanja, and is in Malawi. And Kupanda, Chilungamo. Kupanda, Chilungamo. Now, the beauty of African tongues is that you just read the sounds. Yeah, you will not really struggle with pronunciation like very many Western tongues. So that's why we're having ease, and we'll be learning many things, including science. Yes, and marrying it with African science. Yes, because we see a lot of struggle. We need to marry, Africa needs to marry, Black Africa needs to marry every culture in the world. We must marry each other. We must unite our cultures, and or else we will kill each other. That's what happens. Yes, go and ask America and the Native Americans when they met each other. And then in Shona, injustice is kusarura misira. Kusarura. Now, of course, African tongues have many words, so these are just the closest that Google Translate has. Yes, but they are not the, they are not the only ones, you know. Yeah. So we are going with what Google Translate is giving us, and we're very happy that they have this idea, yes, of sharing different words from Africa. And we go to Somali, and they have Kadalad, Daru. Kadalad, Daru. That's Somali. Yes, I know I've removed Arab, and people are like, but Somalis are also not so Black African. Yeah, you could also say that about Ethiopians, but it's a very complicated thing. Yes. In the end, we are one, actually. And our discussion is to everybody. Yes, but with a Black perspective. Yes, but we are one. Yeah, so so that's what we need to know. I mean, I could do very many, all the languages in the world. Yes, we just learn one word from every language. But I'm focusing on Africa because Africa is, this Mezinanya is for Black people, by Black people, and to the world. Yes, we are spreading Black knowledge to the entire world. Ukungeko sikweni, that is Okosa. And then we've got another one, Ukungeho sikweni. Yeah. So that's injustice. Yes, and then we've got Yoruba. Aise Dede. Aise Dede. Yoruba. And then we have another African tongue. Sotha, Sotho. Ho, Hloka Toka. My God. is so powerful. Ho, Hloka Toka. Yes, is Sotho. Good. So that's the best we can get from Google Translate. There are 12 languages. Of course, we've put aside Arabic. Not that they are not part of us. They are. It's just that we are focusing on Black tongues. Yes, and we have we've introduced the Somali. They are Black people. They are Hamites. Yes, so they are the very Black side of Noah, and so are the Amharic, the Ethiopians. They are also, many of them are children of Noah. Yes, so Noah's son called Ham. Actually, there are more children of Ham. Yes, and so they live in Africa. That's where Ham's children came to live. And so we are focusing on Ham's, and we've allowed the Somali as Ham. The Arabs are from Shem. Yes, that's why we thought of removing them. Yeah, they are Shemites. So we didn't put them on the list. So we are focusing on African Hamites and African non-Hamitic blacks. Yeah. Yeah, there are Hamitic blacks and then non-Hamitic blacks. Yes. So the reason why they got their color is the black children of Noah was because they married black women in Africa. And that's why they look different from a Jew. Yes. And an Arab. Yes, because the Arabs married the Middle Eastern women. Yes. And so did the Jews. And very few Jews married from Ham. Remember, Moses married from Ham. And they were not happy. Yes, because she was very black. She was a black woman. So they were like, what have you done? Those days, let me tell you, the world was so nationalistic. Yes, to marry from another tribe was like hell. Yeah, another nation, it was hell. And Solomon perfected, yes, perfected, what do you call it? Unity, what we're doing, cultural integration, by marrying from many nations. And I've got a feeling, I know we do genetics, but I got a feeling, I got a feeling there is something weird about Solomon's line, but we'll talk about that. Yes, Ethiopia still has the Menelik line that they claim comes from Solomon. And so the power of that is, if they do the DNA testing of the royals in Ethiopia and they find them to be in another group, it could mean a big thing about Jesus' line. Yes, you'll find that Jesus is actually could have actually been an Egyptian. Yes, it's so scary what we're studying. So we're gonna do more studying. We told you this is Mezinanya, entertainment and edutainment. Yes, for you, by Black people, to Black people and the entire world. So we're gonna do that. And so that's injustice in these languages. So now, what about justice? Yes, let's look at justice. Let's look at justice and then we'll see whether, yeah, so that's just injustice. Let's read out injustice. Udhalimu, unkabi, nabulungisa, rashin, adalchi, gifi, ipe, na ezigi, ezi, akarengane, kupanda, chilungamo, kusarura misira, kadalad, daru, okungeho sikweni, asiedede, ohloka toka. See, and then English, injustice. Good. So now let's do the opposite of that. Okay, it's acting up. You ain't showing. Come on. That's technology. It's just acting up. It's acting up. Seriously, I just can't believe this. Oh my God. Okay. So he doesn't want us to talk about that. Let's push it this way, and then we get an open box here. Hopefully, yes. And then we get another one. Can we do that? It's so wonderful. So we've got a lot of work in Africa. Yes, we've got to build research centers. And as I am a proponent of world government, I am a proponent of World Bank funding. Yes, many projects all over the world. Can you imagine we got a World Bank and it can't fund the world? People are poor and we got a World Bank. It's it's so hilarious, you know. I just sometimes injustice is so sad, you just start laughing. Yeah, because you're wondering what are they thinking? It's I was thinking about Africa and how in Africa we have granaries. Yes, we have banks. Our ancient banks in Africa were granaries, and we used to store, we still store in very many rural parts of Africa. We store grains and seeds and foods that can live for long. You know, there are many grains, yeah, that we store in the granary when the harvest is surplus. You know, like you've made money and then at the end of the month, you have enough money to keep in the bank. Yeah, so you go to the bank account and then you save the money. So in Africa, we had banking. That's our early banking. It was agriculture. And so guys used to put the food in the granary. Now, the advantage of that was when famine would come, yes, they would resort to the granary. And you can see what happened in the story of Joseph when he was in Egypt, that he had a story of helping the country put a big granaries to store food, because he interpreted the dream of the king, and it was that there was going to be a famine. So now that's Africa, and that story of Joseph happened in Africa. You see, so Africa has had a lot of famines, and the lesson we learned as Black people was to build granaries, and we built them. And when the place became very dry, we would resort to eating from the granary. You see, that's the beauty of Africa. We also foresaw the future, and we had very many seers. Now, imagine having a granary without food. That's what the World Bank is. Yes, it's a granary without food, and it's a granary that demands you to do conditions. You know, you can't get loans without, I mean, you get a loan. Can you imagine asking a poor person for a loan? That's what happens to Black people all over the world through World Bank in their nations. Yes, they all go, they say, you get a loan from us. They don't even say we're giving you money out of our hearts, out of love. You see? So there's a very big disconnect in the world system. And that's why Africa has remained in poverty for a very long time. How do you ask a poor person for money? I was even thinking about it here in Africa. You can't get a loan if you're a poor person. Yes, that's the law. Not even the law of written law. You can't go to a bank and so I imagine to myself, imagine a poor man going to the bank and saying, give me a loan. I don't have money to eat. I don't have food. Yes, I don't have money to pay my rent. And the bank tells you, what do you have to give me? I have nothing. Get out of the bank. You see, that's what happens. Yes, you can't get a loan. And so the World Bank has a lot of disaster. I mean, it has to check that. And not only them, even governments of the world, you see, even governments in Africa, yes, they have to think about social, they have to understand that a bank is supposed to help, a public bank, the bank of the country. Yes, the country is supposed to have a bank, and that bank is called a public bank. And everybody has to have an account in that public bank and get money that can keep them well, and they can pay their rent, and they can eat well, and they can go on through life well. And their job, the work they do, is a bonus to their life. But the country must make sure everybody is eating and everybody is getting some money to go by life, because life is about money, isn't it? That's what has happened. Yes, that's the modern system we're living in. Yes, we are living. That's what I'm showing you, our African tongues. You see, there are some concepts, modern concepts of the world. They don't have them. Not because of anything, but we never had these things. So that's a sign of poverty. Yes, and so it becomes a joke when they don't think that Africans are suffering. Yes, and especially Black people. Yeah, and it's a big joke. And then you have a whole so-called World Bank, and then they'll tell you, but we gave your money to your governments. Yes, but you just gave them money. Yes, that's, you're supposed to understand, how do the people get the money we give? Yes, if there is no system for that, set it up. Yes. Now, this is what I'll do for World Bank. Thank God we're talking about injustice, so we're not intruding on the program. Because injustice is poverty. Yeah, the root of injustice is poverty. Yes, that's it. Even in Black America, yes, it is poverty. Yeah, it's poverty. That's the root of injustice. Social justice is about solving poverty in the society. Yes, because when people are poor, they will steal. When people are poor, they'll be mentally challenged. Yes, they'll go mad. Just now in America, we've seen they shot another Black man. And they shot him because he was walking with a knife. Now, why would that happen? Just because the Black man is mentally challenged. Yes, he's mentally unwell. You see? But the police doesn't understand that. Yes, because they are coming from an affluent life. Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, they can stay well. Yeah, they have a good life. They are earning a salary. That guy has no salary. Yes, the guy is suffering. You see, he's poor. And so COVID-19 has come and has confused his life. Yeah, he's completely messed up. You see? And they are supposed to be support systems. Even when I watched the video of that, I was like, the guy, the mistake was the police's. Yeah, and the family should sue the police. Yeah, you better sue the police. Yeah, you can't go on. These days, you must sue the police. Every time they do that, sue them. Yes, sue the police department. So this is my idea I gave police officers in America. I said that when you meet a Black assailant or a Black suspect or a Black person, yes, you are supposed to let the Black police officer with you deal with the Black person. Yes, that's what you call cultural sensitivity. Yes, because right now, the way America is, they don't want to see a white policeman. Yes, there's no Black who's going to see a white policeman in these situations. So you have to fill up the police departments with Black people. And every time you do patrol, yes, and every time you're called for a crime, you must go with a Black policeman or woman in some cases. Yes, you go with them. Yeah. Another time, even you may do away with the old patrol car and start traveling in vans, and you carry diverse police force, yes, from all races, you see, and it's a police van that goes when there's a crime or a suspect of a crime. You go with enough police. When the person is Black, send the Black police to that person. Yes, and then they'll be sorted out. Because if it was a Black man, Black policeman dealing with that Black man, he would talk to him well and would say, hey guy, just put down the knife. What's wrong? Yeah, calm down. We don't want to shoot you. Yeah, you're our brother. Put it down. And then he puts it down and they can go and discuss and find out the mental health status of that person. Yeah, even terrorists are mentally unwell. Yes. There is no normal terrorist. Yes, that should be understood by the whole world by now. Yes, there is no mentally stable terrorist. So when you arrest them, please arrest them with dignity. Yes. Yeah. Calm them down. Like now, when the guy was holding the knife, send a black policeman to calm him down. Yes. Surround him. And then the other policeman will offer surround. Yes. Surround, a surround system. Yes. So that he doesn't run away. Yes. And then you have a conversation with that person. Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of psychology needed to be taught to the police, a lot of um, cultural studies, and a lot of what we call constitutional and human rights studies that should be given to the police. So the police academies worldwide should receive teaching on human rights and constitutional law. Yes, because constitutional law is that everyone has a right to life. So you just can't take life away. You just can't shoot somebody. Yeah, you just can't kill. And beating up somebody is an assault. Do you know? Can I shock the police force today? Yes. Many of them have been doing, beating up people. Yes, that's a crime. It's called assault. I even can't believe that they call it reasonable force. It's an oxymoron. Yeah. Yes, it's an oxymoron for the police to use a crime, yes, to fight a crime. Two wrongs don't make a right. You see? Yeah. Just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you should be beaten. Yeah. Just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you should be handcuffed forcefully. Just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you need to be killed, like what has happened to our friend. He just lifted a knife, they shot him. For what? You see? You don't need that. Yes. You need professional policing. Yes, professional. And then secondly, policemen need to understand that I know that the job of policing is like, okay, we're going to be doing this. We have to carry guns, yeah, to shoot because this guy is armed. Yeah, we are not attacking the walking with arms. What we are attacking is the strategy. Yes, the diversity of strategy. You must have enough strategies when you are making an arrest. Yeah, don't just use one method. Yes, you must have diverse strategies that are calm, humane, and effective. Yes, we thank God. The US Congress sorted out that thanks to the Democrats who pushed for reform of the police force. They're happy for that. They should continue that way. Yes, you should reform the police force and train them, yes, about human rights. So that's injustice. So injustice is basically based on poverty, and when they are poor people, they will commit crime. Yeah. When people have money, when we all have money, there will be no crime. I'm telling you. Yes, just try it. Go to Denmark. Yes, there is no one who is poor. Nobody is poor in Denmark. Go to Switzerland. $100,000 per capita is a human being. Yes. When you see a Swiss person, you're seeing $100,000 walking. And go and check this crime statistics. You will be shocked. But though in Switzerland, it's weird. Everyone has a gun. You know why? Yes. Because they are making a lot of money. Yeah. So because they're making a lot of money, some people don't want someone make a lot of money. And money is so interesting. The more money you make, the more money you make, the more risks you take. And the more risks you take, yes, the more chances are you will make losses. Yeah. And when you make losses, you will resort to very many methods of survival. Yes, you see? So that's why the gun ownership in Switzerland is beyond. Everybody has a gun, you know, yet everybody has $100,000 above, in their account, you see, in Switzerland. So it depends where you live. Sometimes money is, of course, even though they have a gun, everyone has a gun. Well, my point is the crime rate is very low. Yes. And if you have any crime, it's an advanced crime. And it's not these petty crimes or these hard crimes that you can't investigate because of poverty. So the beauty of equalizing society is that you are able to police it well. Yes. But when you live in a society that's very segregated and very, what do you call it, divided and equal, yes, it becomes very hard to police, and therefore you will have a lot of problems like what you're having in America. You see, Black people, many of them, they live in poverty, urban poverty. No, there's poverty, there are different types of poverty. There's rural poverty and there is urban poverty. Yes. So urban poverty is where you don't have enough money to live in the city. Yes, there's so much stress in the city. You don't have a job, and then you live with your parents and you survive on, you go home, you eat from there, and when you eat at home, you go to town, you walk around, yeah, you don't have anything to do, you don't have a job. So that's what you call urban poverty. Rural poverty is where basically because you don't have a job, yes, you just stay in a crappy house, you're just there, yeah, you don't have much. Yes, and that's rural poverty. That's different. And in America, it's the white people who are rurally poor. Again, in states where there are Black people who are urban poor, Yeah, so that's what they call the Bible Belt, in America. The Bible Belt in America, the South, yes, there's a lot of poverty, both white and Black. Yes, and it's because of, as you've heard, Bible Belt. Yeah, many of them, they only stay in Christianity, at least for the white, rural white, Yeah, the Bible is what matters, and the gun. Yeah, it's basically the ancient slave master lifestyle, Yeah, he had a gun and a Bible. That's all. And so they've lived like that. And most of the industries in America were in the North, not in the South. Yes, the South was for labor, the slave labor. And the resources, they were growing cotton and they were growing many foods and selling to the North. You see? And now, when the Black people were emancipated, yes, the South their economy was done. Yeah, it collapsed. So the collapse of the economy led them what you call Southern poverty. Yes, there's a Southern Poverty Law Center. They know the meaning of that. The South became very poor. And in their poverty, they continued oppressing Black people. And because they were poor, the North was not bothered. Yeah, you see, they didn't care. Yes, they have the industries and they were like, okay, and Blacks have now come to the North. Yeah, so they were like, okay, whatever, let's go on with life. And so they ignored the South. So it's like America was living in and is still living in the division of North and South. Yes, because the North emancipated the Blacks and the South still didn't accept the emancipation. So that's when they had the Jim Crow laws. So basically, Jim Crow legal system that was set up in the 1870s until 1960s, the Jim Crow law system, or 1940s, 50s, the Jim Crow legal system was round 2 of the Civil War. They were like, no, it's not over. Yes, we're not done. Blacks still are lesser humans. And so they went on like that. So can I shock America today? You know, I like shocking people. It's a surprise. The shock. America never sorted the Civil War, and they were still divided. You see, divided by the Jim Crow law system. Until 1960, thank Martin Luther King Jr. for uniting America, and the Brown versus Board of Education that set free Black people, and Black people now could read even in the southern states. Yes, they could read anywhere. They could go to any school. Yes, in America. So we thank God for Martin Luther King Jr. Even in his death, he won. Yes, his death was not in vain. Even the Black man who has been killed right now, his death is not in vain. Even George Floyd's death, it's not in vain. Even Breonna Taylor, her death is not in vain. You see? Yes. Because their death is leading to the reformation of the police and the reformation of the American government. So we are very happy that a sad event like death can actually bring change. Yes, and that's what I want Black people in America to do. Yeah, you got it. We with you. Yeah, we stand with you. You better stand firm and reform America. You were born there. Okay? Yes. So you gotta make it better. You gotta make it better. That's where you were born. Yes. I know there are Blacks who feel free to live anywhere in Africa, in the world. Please do that. Do what you want. But if you've chosen to stay in America, set the record straight there. Reform it. Yeah. Change the system. Yes. Lobby Congress. Sue the government. Sue them. Yes. Tell them that how you're treating poverty, Black poverty, is wrong. Yeah, you're not doing it well. Yes, this is how you're supposed to do it. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. did before he died. He did the poor man's what? Poor man's campaign, the poor man's march. Yes, he marched for the poor man because he realized that now all the Blacks can go to school. But he realized something happened. And this is the realization he got. Yes, he got this realization that you need money to go to the schools. So the schools, Brown versus Board of Education, now allowed Blacks to go to any school, but there was a catch. Harvard is too expensive. MIT is too expensive. So a Black can't go to those schools. They have to depend on scholarships to go. You see? And that was, in my view, it was a disaster. And Martin Luther King saw that. And that's why he did the poor man's march. And he supported universal basic income. Him and I think Bayard Rustin, they supported a basic income system where people could get money for their livelihood. Yes, you see, because Martin Luther King saw something. We can go to school now, but we don't have the money to go to school. Yes. So what does that mean? More inequality. Yeah. You see, that was what's going to happen. And that's what exactly happened. Yeah. So you can sort that injustice with universal basic income. Yes. So when you have that money system, everybody's getting $2,000 per month. Yes, everybody. You see, they will be able to go to school and eat well and stay well and pay rent. Then someone will say, but what is going to happen? Yes. Organize, make laws. Yes, you see? Yes. Reform the legal system. Yeah. Do you know the legal system is the economy? Do you know the legal system is education? Do you know the legal system is housing? Yes, that's what we mean to reform the legal system. You just can't build a house in America or anywhere in the world. Yes, there are regulations. You just can't go to school. There are regulations. Even right now, you see the disaster in the world, not just America, in the world, is that people are starting homeschools. Yes, without the government aware what this person is teaching the child. You see? Yes, they are not there. There's Coursera. There are so many applications where you can go to school without the government even surveilling that system. So what is happening? People are being taught things and we don't know whether they are verified information and verified data to give the students. So what has happened to the entire world is what you call a government has been defeated. Yes, it can't. It doesn't know its people. It doesn't know the systems, the shops, the businesses. It doesn't know what's happening online. It's just on gas, as I say, you know, it's just on gas, it's hanging. And so, what does that mean? It means, imagine a parent, yes, can't take care of his kids. So the kids just go out, yeah, and they take care of themselves, yeah. The parents just at home. Whenever they come back home, let them just sleep. Yeah, I don't know how they are eating. I don't know. I don't know how they are eating. You see? That's what happens. That's what the governments of the world are today. Yes, especially very many countries where they don't have a very they are not as organized. They don't have a very strong legal system, and it's too liberal. Yeah, it's too free. Yes, you see. So they end up having systems that are not the systems that are, what do you call it? They are not concerned about people. Yeah. I know someone say, I think you're a communist. Yes, they'll say like, I think you're a communist because you want to control. Yeah, no, but you need to balance. Yes, you must be, I support capitalism as much as the best of capitalism, as much as I support the best of communism. And the best of communism for me is active government. Yes, government should be active only in basic things. Yeah, in the basics of your life, government should be active. Yes, the rest, they shouldn't intrude. Now that's where capitalism enters. So if government is not concerned about your education, it will not be concerned about your health, and it will not be concerned about your we've said education and your economy. Yes, but if it's a concern about your education, it will be a concern about your health, it will be concerned about your economy. Yes, and the economy is very important. Yes, it's more important than education. Yes, because how do you eat? Yes, if it's bad with money. Yeah, unless you're telling people get land. But how many people have land? Black Americans were supposed to get 40 acres of land plus a mule. They didn't. That's another injustice. Udalimu. That is a Gifi. That is a Kusaruma Misira. You see, they were supposed to get. Can we do, let's wax lyrical. Yes. They were supposed to get land. They didn't. Gifi. They were supposed to get a mule. They didn't. Kadalad, Daru. They were supposed to get income, yes, to stay well. I said dead. They didn't. That's I said dead. And I want to encourage you, mix these languages. Yeah, just say Udalimu. Tell them, I'm tired of Udalimu. Yes, I'm tired of Hloka Toka. And pick the one you like. Yes, Giffy sounds nice. Giffy. Giffy. You see? So those are lists of injustices. Yes. And education, this is what I would do with education. I would allow Black people, yes, free scholarship till university. Yes, don't pay anything. Yeah, don't pay a thing. Look at the US debt. Student debt is so high in America. Now, what about a Black person? If the white student, yes, has high debt, what about the Black student? You see how it's just disaster on disaster. So how do you solve those disasters? With freedom. Yes, free education for everybody. Yes, and especially Blacks. Yes, they must be encouraged to go to school so that they can restore their potential. Yes, they have a lot of potential, and it was wasted because of the wars in America. I'm going to show you a map I saw today. Yeah, this thing has acted up on me. It's like it's saying, no, just teach injustice. Cool, I'll do that. And so we've done that. Yes, now let's go to another discussion. I saw something very important, you know, and it's about America. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And I want you to keep it, you know, this is Mezinanya. Yes, a Black entertainment and edutainment hub for Black people and the entire world. Yes, about Black issues. So we're going to look at the Udhalimu. Yes, we're going to look at the Udhalimu system. Yes, the injustice system that America became. You know, America needs to understand something. And I know a lot about America because I read a lot. Yes, and I'm grateful to the eternal one of the world that I am able to read. I'm very grateful to the eternal one of the world. There you are. Windows is busy for studying, you know. So I was doing a research today about the population of America map. Yes, and I stumbled on a very powerful map. Yes, and we're going to discuss this and then we'll end the video. Yeah, since the thing has jammed on us, we're like, it's cool. We be fine. I love Black American English. Yeah, it's so nice. Yes. It's cool. We be fine. You know, we fine. So let it keep on acting up. Yeah, so we learn a lot from Black people. Yes, and they are a blessing. Yeah, and of course, everybody's a blessing, but Black people are a special. As I told you, it's so weird that they are similar to Jews. You know, they've gone through struggles just like Jews. You know, it's unbelievable. African American population density map by county. Now, I was telling you the story about the Black American history. Now, let's go to the scale. This is 0 whites. These are counties that have no Blacks at all. These ones have 0.1 to 3.4, 3.5 to 10.0, and 53.2 to 86.5. So now, are you seeing? Now, for many Black people who are not aware about Black history in America, yes, you see where we went? Yeah, this is where we went, Black people. We came to America. Igbos were brought here. There are Igbos who died at the sea. They killed themselves. They said, we'd rather not go back to slavery. And they drowned here, where you're seeing the cross, the Sacha. I think Georgia is somewhere. Yes, and they did that. They crossed here. And they said, no, we're not coming. They told them, come back. No, we're not coming. And they drowned. They said, we can't come back there. Igbo tribe. So the history of America, yes, is the history of Africa. The history of China is the history of Africa. The history of Britain is the history of Africa. So you must read the history of all countries in the world because it is your history. And I always tell black people, and I tell white people, and I tell yellow people, Asians, I tell them all. But I think Asians are also albinos, so they are white people too. Yes, I tell them. The first human beings were black. So black people are our parents. So we are all black people. That's why I've told you the white people have albinism. Yes, they are all black people. And the reason why they got albinism was because they left Africa and lived in other areas where the sun didn't force them to become, what do you call it, to become dark skinned. And the reason why people are very black is because the sun shines, it's very strong twice a year in Africa. So that's why we've darkened. And the albinos, the Asians and the whites, they left Africa and became lighter, yes, until to the point of the pink color they have, which is our skin. You know our skin is pink. Let's show you. Yes. Let's show you. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. The palm of your hands. Yes, and then we're almost gone. We don't want to talk too much. Yes. You see, look at your palm. Yes. You see, that's pink. Yeah. All people's palms are pink. Even black people. Are you using that error? That's an error. Yes, they're saying a black hand. No. That's an error. You need to see a black person's hands. Of course, I can't do this with my machine to show you. Yes, most of the pictures are white people. I want to show you a black person's hands. They must be black. Hands of black people. Yes, and then we go and see that. Hands of black people. You see, the top skin is dark. Yes, you see? There you are. You see? It's pink, similar to pink, but darker. Yes. You see? Yes, that's the black palm. And the white palm, you see, it's very white. It's very pink. It's the underskin. Yes. So they lived away from the sun. So the sun couldn't blacken the cells in the body. Yes, they were not forced to make melanin. Yeah, but black people were forced to make melanin. Yes, and that's why the hands look like that. This is so wonderful. You see, shades of pink. So now ours is brown. Now, why is it brown? What is brown? Brown is red. Yes. And pink is red. Yes. And pink is light red. And brown is almost dark red. Yes, almost. You see? Yes. So the black person's skin is harder so that the sun's rays do not destroy. Yeah. The sun's rays do not destroy the internal organs. Yeah, that are here. Organs are here, you have blood vessels. But now you see the pink skin of the white, yeah, they don't live in the sun. Yes. So they don't have melanin to protect them from the sun's rays. And that's why when they come to Africa, they turn. Yeah, sometimes you see them, they turn red, Yes, it's because of the sun. That's why very many Black Americans who are coming back to Africa, yeah, they're enjoying it because the skin, they don't suffer. Yeah, there's no snow. You see, white people, skin in Africa. Yeah, so you see albinos, yeah, they are white people. Yeah, they are They don't have melanin. Yeah, so there's a spectrum of melanin. Okay. So they are not showing us the sunburn. Yes. That even albinos suffer from. You see? Yeah, they suffer from that. Yeah. You see, this is a black skin getting sunburn. You see? There you are. Yeah. Even black people. That's what I'm saying. Now imagine this black skin. White skin, you don't want to know. You see? There it is. Yeah. That's sunburn because they don't have enough melanin. Yes. To fight the sun. That's very strong. So that's what it is. So we have stayed in Africa. The black people have stayed in Africa for very long. And so that's why we darkened. And then our children, the white people, AKA Asians and white people, Caucasians, they left and they came back, went to become whites. All right, so that's enough. So the history of the whole world is your history. Every country, yes, you are a citizen of the world. Therefore, the history of the world is your history. Every country matters to you. And that's what you call Ubuntu. Yes, humanity, oneness. We are one. I am because you are. So you must read. And sadly, the UN needs to rise up and unite the world. Yes, I'm even supporting world government. Yes, because we're all citizens of the world and we should live anywhere in the world and without any visa. Yes, and the World Bank is going to be the public bank that gives everybody money. They want to know how many people in the world. That's how you will know. And then you give the whole world the world government smartphone. Yes, that's the one you use to get your money. You use to pay your taxes. You use to pay everything. Public, yes. When you get sick, you go use that smartphone to pay. Yes, there's money, and everyone in the world has a World Bank account. And it's through that World Bank account they get the universal basic income. See? Yes, and you can go to any country you want, and the world will have one currency. We'll talk about this later on. Let's finish injustice. So, injustice, let's finish it. Yeah, it's gonna end. It's ending. That's the air. It's black people, y'all. Yeah, we've been stepped on for far too long. Yes, it's ending. Yeah, sense has come. COVID-19 put a pause on madness. And people are now thinking, and they're like, oh my God, how could we go on and leave black people to wallow in abject poverty? Oh my God, how could we go on making money and not think that black people are very important to the economy? Yes, we even consume more than white people. Did you know that? Yes, consumption, meaning buying. Yes, many white people, they like saving. Yeah, that's their nature. Yeah, because of the winter weather. Yes, winter trains you to keep. Isn't that how ants behave? Yeah, ants keep for another day. Yes, a lion lives daily. There is no savings account in the lion's world. There's a savings account in the ant's world, because they can't survive in winter. Yeah, it's too bad for them. So what do? They store food. But the lion just waits for a day. Yes, when I'm hungry, I need a gazelle. And he sees it and eats it up and then rests. You see? So that's how even many black people live. Many of them don't have savings account because they live on hand to mouth, just like a lion. Yes, you see? So it's a very interesting, and it's because of the environment. Lions don't live in the cold world. Ants are very small, so cold weather affects them. Yes, so they collect food and hide. You see? So that's how the white world is. They have a savings culture because of the environment. Remember, we are higher animals, so bless God. Yes. It's glorious. Yes, everything is super. Oh my God. Welcome to Mezinanya, where we'll be teaching you science and entertaining you with music, just as we did with Sauti Sol. Wake up. It's time to wake up to science and knowledge and history, which is science. Okay? Yes, it's a very powerful science. All right, so this is America. And where I've put the cursor, this is called the Bible Belt. This is where the slaves were brought from Africa, and they were sold and they worked on plantations here where I'm stretching. Yes. Are you seeing my stretcher there to the west? No, it's here to the east. You see? And they're telling you this is the African American population. You see? So in 1865, there was the Civil War ended, and Black people who live here were set free. Now, you see, this is a state here. Of course, I know America, but I can't, I think it's like Ohio or Michigan. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, sorry about that. I just picked on this. Yeah, I was not really prepared, but it was out of the blue. Yeah, so where you see these orange ones, yes, even could be in Pennsylvania, whatever, they're here, around here. Yes, when you see these orange boxes, yeah, then Maryland, yes, all of those there. These were the slaves who ran away, yes, and went to stay in the North. Yeah, so they went there to Philadelphia, Detroit, Michigan, and then Maryland, and Baltimore, and all those, they ran away. Though this was still a slave area, yes, but the slaves of the politicians, yeah, that lived here in Washington, D.C., yes. So when they now, but they were not, they were what you call house slaves. Yeah, most of them were house slaves. Very few plantations were there. This was a plantation world, the South, the Bible Belt. So 1865, Abraham Lincoln declared Black people free from slavery, yes, from underemployment, from torture, yes, from every form of mistreatment that they were facing in the South. So what did that mean for Black Americans? They could not leave the South. They stayed there. So they couldn't move here because they've been set free. Yeah, so they stayed there. So now they stayed here, and these states were called the Confederate States. Yes, they were rivaling the federal government of the United States of America, which is all of this. You see? Yes, they were fighting all of that, and they said, no way. Yes, don't touch the slave economy. So when the slaves were set free, they didn't move out to stay here. Yes, in other states. Yeah, they all stayed here. Now imagine staying where your enemy is. It was a disaster, yes. But they couldn't move. Where would they go? And they demanded that they get 40 acres and a mule. Yes. And they knew the land was here. Yes. This was where they were going to get the 40 acres and a mule. All of the slaves. So that didn't happen. Abraham Lincoln was shot and the plan died. So as he died, as he was dead, remember, the white supremacists were not happy, and they were seeing blacks are free, staying in their houses, planting, yes. And they were like, how could you? Yes, they were like, how could you leave the plantations? And they couldn't do anything because the Government was watching. Yes, it was watching. Anyone who was going to commit slavery again, to enslave someone, was committing a crime. So what happened? In 1874, the Jim Crow laws were enforced in these same states, the Bible Belt states. They enforced them. What was that? And I'm telling you, that's the second round of the Civil War in America. Yes, and they were fighting the fact that blacks are free. Yes, so they brought another war, and it's called Jim Crow laws. These were laws of segregation, apartheid, Nazism, to declare that black people are subhuman and white people are superhuman. So they shouldn't share schools, they shouldn't share restaurants, they shouldn't share any facility. You see, that's what happened. Yes. Now, I blame the government that stays here. Yes. Yeah. They were supposed to come back. Yes. And stop that. They didn't. So I blame the presidents from 1874. Yes. Let's look at it. Let's show that again. I blame the presidents. Jim Crow laws. Yes. You know, this is a very, imagine this, we're still talking about Udalinu. Yes. Dulma is also another word. Dulma. Yeah, injustice. So, yes, is Udalinu. Injustice. So the Jim Crow laws, the US Army was already segregated. You see, mandated Jim Crow laws and Jim Crow state constitutional provisions. Imagine, they were in the constitutions of the state. Mandated, meaning commanded, segregation of public schools, public places, public transportation, and segregation of restrooms, restaurants, and drinking fountains between white and black people. The US military was already segregated. You see, even if you're a black American, you couldn't fight for the army. You couldn't fight for America. Woodrow Wilson, a Southern Democrat, initiated the segregation of federal workplaces in 1913. You see, very sad. You couldn't even work in the government. You are segregated. There are blacks on this side, whites on this side, and the federal workplaces. In 1954, segregation of public schools was declared unconstitutional. As I've told you, Brown versus Board of Education. In some states, it took many years to implement this decision, while Warren Court continued to rule against the Jim Crow laws in Heart of Atlanta Motel versus United States in 1964. Generally, the remaining Jim Crow laws were overruled by the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So we bless Lyndon Johnson, yes, who we all know was a black, is a black white man. We'll talk about that. So let's go to the American presidents between 1874 and 1964. And we are gonna do what is called checking. Yes, all the presidents that ruled when Jim Crow laws came into, they were enforced in the 1870s, as I've told you. Okay, so let's look at the presidents. Okay. Yes, this is a very important discussion. It's still about Mezinanya, giving you, today we're doing edutainment. We're educating you in an entertaining way. So from the 1870s, Rutherford B. Hayes. Yes, Ulysses Grant was okay. Yes, he fought against slavery. But it would be sad if they passed the laws there. And maybe that could be the reason why that's why the Jim Crow laws were passed, because Abraham Lincoln was already shot, yeah, and then they have who's this guy? This is Andrew Johnson, yes, National Union, and then Ulysses Grant. So I have a feeling, I haven't read this history, but I have a feeling when Ulysses Grant became the president of America, the Democrats, the ancient Democrats, not these ones here, the ancient ones, yes, that were in the South, yeah, because the modern ones are very okay. We love them. Yeah, they are very diverse-minded. Keep it up. And we wish that the Republicans become like them immediately. Yes, before America has hell and high water. Yes, immediately they must diversify. Immediately. Yes. Okay. Ulysses Grant became president. He was a general who fought the southern states. So what happened? That angered, yes, the KKK and all the slave owners that were in the slave states. And what did they do? That's when Jim Crow law was born. So you find Rutherford B. Hayes, yes, now took over. It's like, whatever, yes, we won't fight them again. And then James A. Garfield, and then Chester A. Arthur, and then Grover Cleveland, and then Benjamin Harrison, and then Grover Cleveland, and then William McKinley, and then Theodore Roosevelt, and then William Taft, Woodrow Wilson, the one who blocked people, black people, from segregated them in the office. Very sad. Yes, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Lyndon Johnson. So Lyndon Johnson is the savior of black people. Yes, and he came and sorted out black people's issues. Of course, Brown versus Board of Education happened around the time of Dwight Eisenhower. So we also save John F. Kennedy. Between Eisenhower and Johnson, America began to change. You see? So that's what you need to know about America. So all the presidents from Eisenhower to Rutherford, Hayes, yes, they have an apology. Yes, they do have to apologize for allowing southern states to go on. But it could be they did that because they didn't want to fight the war that was going on in America. And they didn't want to have another civil war. So maybe that's why they never touched that law. Good. So that's done. Now let's go back to our map. So there it is. So blacks have never moved out from their home, from their oppression centers. Yes. But they waited for deliverance, and deliverance came in 1964 when the Civil Rights Act was passed, and blacks were now free to attend anything in the South, to go to school, to vote, you know. Yes, they were now allowed. Can you imagine? The same time South Africa was going through hell, yes, as black people. So now, what is my point about what's happening in black people in the South? My point is this area took a lot of time to change, even because of religion. Yes, because religion is a very ancient system. Yes, very ancient. And now, because it's an ancient system, it it's not that God is not there. God is there. Yes, God exists. Yes, it's just that the type of religion is not made by God. It's made by man. Yeah. So the religious system perpetuated slavery. You know, yeah, they perpetuated slavery because that's how the world was. The ancient world was of enslaving people, you know, so enslaving them and not paying them well. You see, you're supposed to pay them well. Yes. Okay. You're supposed to pay them well. And very many people know that like if your boss has a lot of money, yes, he's supposed to pay you well. See, if he doesn't have a lot of money, he can't pay you well. So that's even what happened in the South. You see, they were also poor. The whites were also poor, some of them. And they were working for these guys in the North. So you see, yes, that was the other disaster in America. If you really look at the economics of everything happening there, these guys were depending on these guys. So now, and they were depending on, it's a dependency system. Yes, so the moment the slaves left, these guys died. And when you look at the GDP of these states, they are amongst the poorest. Yes. And then imagine they have blacks. Yeah, so they're also poor. Yeah, so that's the saddest disaster in America. But it can be sorted by reforming the law. Now, you have the Southern Poverty Law Center. They work here. This is the South in America. Yeah, this is not considered the South. Yeah, this is the South. So the Southern Poverty Law Center understands the disaster that has happened because of history. Yes, because of slave history and ignorance. You know, racism is just there because of ignorance. Yeah. White people are supposed to know they are from black people. They don't know. Yes. The moment they know that, that's the end of racism. It's over. Yes. Black people are supposed to know that they are the parents of white people. The moment they know that, that's the end of racism. It's as simple as that. And we'll end the show with that lesson, if we can show it today. Can we show it today? Yes, there's something we're going to do. It's called genetics, and we'll teach you as time goes on. There's so much to learn about this world. And I believe in evolution. Yes, because that is science, and evolution is very clear. Life began in Africa, and I can show you. Let's see the timeline of evolution, and then we'll go to genetics. Yes, human evolution. Okay, let's get a human evolution. Human evolution. Let's get a Wikipedia. So I believe in this because science has proven that we are in the world that is 4 billion years old. And it's the emergence of humans that led to the emergence of modern humans, beginning with primates, and then the Homo, and now we are Homo sapiens. So I believe in this. It makes a lot of sense, and there's a lot of proof. So I like this. Let's start from here. This 10 million years ago, Nacalapithecus, the earliest apes, came to the world. And then Oronopithecus, the gorilla, split. Yes, they split up. And then Oreopithecus came. And then Sahelanthropus came. And Ororin came. None of these were Homo. And then the chimpanzees left this family called Oronin. And now the hominini came, the humans. You see, that animal has hands just like you. Yes, a mouth just like you. The same place your mouth is, the same place his mouth is. The same place the nose is, the same place the nose is, his nose is. The same place his eyes are, the same place his eyes are. The same place his hands are, limbs, yeah, fingers, the same fingers he has. You see? So that's why they're called hominin. They're similar. Then Ardipithecus, still in our family. And then Australopithecus. These ones are found in Africa from 4.2 to 1.9 million years ago. You see? Aren't your eyes like this too? A nose and a mouth. Yes. So you see, not all animals look like that. Yes, and this is Australopithecus, and they are 4 million years ago. And then now we have Homo habilis. That is who we are. I mean, we are Homo, yes, and it's man. And so look at how the Homo habilis looks. That's his face. The nose, same place as yours, a very big mouth ridge, and a mouth, and the ears, and the eyes, and the head. And then we have Homo erectus, 1.9 million years ago. Again, Africa, expansion beyond Africa. You see, they left Africa. Yes, so there was always a movement of leaving Africa. Yes, and these were the Homo erectus. Yes, and then you have the Homo heidelbergensis. Look at him. He's now looking more reformed. Yes, that's what you call evolution. Because as we were evolving, the earth was also evolving. The plants were evolving. The sun was evolving. The weather was evolving. Millions of years ago, can you count that? It's so long. So that's what happened. And then finally, we had the Neanderthals that existed until about 40,000 years ago, and they disappeared and they went extinct. Yes, due to competition with or extermination by European early modern humans due to great climatic change. That's what I'm saying. Disease or a combination of the two. So even right now, you see with the COVID-19, yes, you'll find very many people dying. Yes, because it's part of the evolution. You know, we're still evolving. Yes. We are still evolving. Yes. And climate change, you see, great climatic change, 40,000 years ago. Today you're hearing climate change as if it's new. No, that's the nature of the world. It's forever changing. Okay? So even COVID-19 is part of the change. Yes, it's going nowhere. We're going to stay with it. So Charles Darwin, who was an evolutionist, said survival for the fittest. You see? Yes, that's what he said. So if you're not fit, you will not survive. Even COVID-19, it's the same thing. Yes, if your body is not resistant to COVID-19, you will succumb to it. Yeah, it's just, that's the world we live in. Yes, and as I tell people, God exists. So when you die, you go and stay with God. Yeah, there's a God. And some people are like, but how can there be a God and there's evolution? God is in everything. He's even in evolution. So then we now have the modern humans, which we are, and that's the Homo sapiens. You see, they were now from the hominins, yes, and they made all these drawings. Okay, the same as these guys, the Homo habilis, who made tools. That's what they call the human ability. Now, when you come to modern humans, we're almost done. Yes. When you make the modern humans, you will have what is called the genetics of modern humans. You see? And this is what happened. Burial. You see, people never used to bury the Homo habilis, all of them. They never used to bury. We started burying, we started fishing, we started art, we started systemic use of color, we started bone materials for tools, we started transport, blade technology, diversity of artifacts, hearts, and composite tools. And all of this happened in Africa. Since all cultural are found, including most of them isolated indigenous groups, these traits must have evolved or have been invented in Africa prior to the Exodus. You see, out of Africa, yes. So many people, all the people of the world, their cultures, yes, they got them from Africa, and they went and left Africa and never came back again. So we all are human beings, and we belong to genetic groups, the Y-DNA. Yes. So we belong to the Y-DNA, and then you have the Y-DNA, meaning the man, the male. So let's look at the haplogroup of the world, and I want to show you how we all come from one black people. Yes, that's what you call the chromosomal Adam. Okay, that's taking time to get, I don't know. Is it still the acting up we've been dealing with? So, my God, it's interesting. But as we're going on, that's exactly who we are, you know? As human beings, we all come from Africa. Yes, that's what should be understood. And everybody, we changed. Yes, that's why we look. There are albinos, white people, Asians, brown, and black people, because we evolve. Yes, the white skin is a part of evolution. Yes, all right. And that's why you'll find black people will be asking, why are we not changing? Yes, we're supposed to, yeah, then we're supposed to all become white. No, the whiteness is genetic, and it was created by the climate and the geographical conditions that those black people were forced to live in. You know, if it doesn't act up on me, I'm going to show you another story. Yes, of black people in the in England. Yes, there were black people. They found their bones in England. Yes, you see. So, and the black people they found, they had long hair, just like white people. So what happened? As they continued living there, their skin changed. Yes, because there was no sun, so they didn't need to be dark. So they became white, or what you call, to be precise, pink. Okay, guys, so that's so much for udhalimu, injustice. It's even injustice for you not to be told the truth. Yes, it's injustice for you not to be told the truth about who you are. So be very grateful about Mezi Nyanya, as I am very grateful to all my teachers in the world that taught me, because all we wanted to do is know the truth, and we've now known the truth, and we are very grateful. So there you are, guys. It's acting up. So we gotta stop there. And thank you so much for joining us on Mezi Nyanya. We have learned a lot about Africa. We have learned a lot about Black people. We've learned a lot about Black America. And that's what you call edutainment and entertainment. Yes, so we're gonna learn more things, more languages together. We are making the world a better place, healing the world. Mezi Nyanya is healing the world. Mezi Nyanya is teaching the world. Black people all over the world, it's time. Let's start working together with everyone, not just Black people. Tell the whole world what you go through. That's what it's called, waking up. Wake them up. Yeah. Show them that we were living a nightmare. Yes. We were living a nightmare. Tell them. Share your story. And white people, open the doors to hear Black people's stories. Open the doors to hear what Black people go through. Translate it into European languages so that the people can understand that Black people really have, first of all, Black people are the parents of white people. Yes, and when I say white people, it means Asians and whites. Yes, so Black people are the parents of white people, and they should be honored and should be cared for, and because they are close to the what you call the indigenous communities. Most indigenous communities, they are marginalized. Yes, and so the next group of marginalized people were Black people. Okay, cool. So we are done. Of course, acting up is there again. So we're going to try and see whether it's going to respond. But as it's responding, we are done. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time. Mezinanya, the Black Hub of entertainment and entertainment about Black people, to Black people, and to the entire world.